Hey folks, I think I'm probably live here. I always have to wait and confirm. Let a few people get in as well. Yep, we are. So, there we go. So I was going to just do my standard show and I looked up and hey, we got a warning. So this includes Beauregard Parish. You can see there we've had a couple of warnings there, and basically this is mainly for wind. Let me go ahead and read you the text on this warning. Severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Beauregard Parish and south central Vernon now. So, okay, that's the new warning. That now includes Vernon, and that was issued 7 minutes ago as I was building the show here. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near DeRidder to Singer to near Singer, moving east at 25. The hazard here, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Locations impacted, and I'll zoom in a bit on it. That includes, DeRidder, Rose Pine, Dry Creek, Singer, Longville, Tulla, and Bundick Lake. So if you are in those areas, you got some storms heading through. Wind is going to be your main threat. You can see there's some lightning, of course, to go with this, but it's kind of been shrinking up here. Not seeing as much lightning. Let's take a look at those wind velocities. And after this, because this one does not appear to be a crazy threat here. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for the possibility of some wind. I'm going to jump into the show also, but look at that. Well, hold on, we'll see. You can see there was at least a brief little. There's a little surge of wind here, a little bit of rotation look to things. Let me check out just the shear swath, see how things are going. I think, yeah. So we popped up some wind shear there south of Juanita, and it looks like that's going to head generally toward between Kipling and Dry Creek. It's going to stay, the worst of this should stay south of DeRidder, but we are going to see the potential for some straight line wind up there as this fairly significant cell continues on toward the east-northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So you'll hear it. Yeah, I'm sure you do hear it right now in those areas, and you're going to continue to see some heavy rainfall over the next bit here. And then things are going to kind of, hey, good morning, everyone. And then things are going to kind of break up out to the west here. More flood warnings in Texas. And then here we have some moderate to heavy rain falling here in Rapides Parish, Natchitoches. A lot of the area seeing that 0.32 inches of rain here at my house so far. So very manageable, but definitely a widespread event here with most of us at least seeing some rainfall. So if you are headed out to church, which I will be here in about 45 minutes, you will need the umbrellas, unless you're maybe out along Toledo Bend and they're in Western Vernon and Beauregard Parish, because it's going to clear things out here in the next 45 minutes. But if you're leaving now, umbrellas. Yes, there is a severe thunderstorm warning here that is in effect until 10:15, but as of now, it looks like this storm is in a bit of a downtrend here, not seeing as much organization there, not seeing a lot of lightning. Let me just look at, I always like to check debris tracker just in case. I don't think that's anything. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks like there might have been a little something out there. And let's see how this coincides. Okay, that's where it is right now, approaching 171. Just a little area of interest, I would call it, more than anything. And then when I go into velocity, you can see that does kind of track right there with it. So it'll be interesting to see what we have here. This is a pretty rural area out here in Beauregard Parish, but something to monitor here. And I'm going to check the chat, actually. Hold on just one second. Please let me know, of course, if you see anything and you're safe and able to say, hey, we have a little issue here, you can let me know right there in the chat. Got to get into this Slack feed, and okay. Yeah, radar area of rotation has weakened, and this is fresh within the last minute. Has weakened over the last 5 minutes. We do not have plans to issue a tornado warning. Severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag is what we have on this. Yeah, so there was some pretty solid rotation aloft with this. and now it looks like that has weakened a good bit, and it never got terribly strong near the surface, but it is something that I'm going to keep an eye on for sure and see if we get any reports of damage out of there. I'll hop over to the Lake Charles radar and see. But yeah, you see that brief little kind of right there. So heading down the line here again toward Kipling and Dry Creek. This is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. I'm going to also look at the debris tracker on this one. And there was just that little faint kind of something or other. So, it's, when we see typically a strong signal for this, it's going to be these deep blues and things up here. You see the debris up here. That's when we get into the blue all the way down to like the purple, black, that kind of stuff. When we see that, we know we have something. This could mean we're detecting something, leaves or something like that, but it's not like we're seeing big 2x4s way up here, and we're only a few thousand feet up at this part of the radar here. We're at only 1,900 feet up. So we're seeing the rotation down that low. I don't think that we actually see anything significant there with any sort of touchdown, but it is going to be interesting again to watch this and see what happens, and I'm going to keep an eye on it closely. You can see the lightning is pulsing down. The rotation was also weakening, but sure enough, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning out there, and that severe thunderstorm warning continues until 10:15. It looks like they are not going with a tornado warning, but it has a tornado possible tag on it, and that rotation, the center of it, is now roughly 6 to 7 miles east of Singer and continuing at about 25 miles per hour on toward the east or slightly north of east. Interesting stuff here on this Sunday morning here. Did not quite expect that coming in the backside of this thing, but we certainly do have some stout thunderstorms out this way. Some new ones forming here for Evangeline Parish and down into Acadia Parish, seeing some showers and thunderstorms that are ramping up as opposed to this one, which is kind of looks like calming down a bit. And then your moderate to heavy rainfall up to the north. So yeah, a very interesting start to this Sunday morning here. Not typical to see. This is typically your time of day when you don't see the crazy stuff. This is probably the lull. This is most likely mid-morning. We've lost that overnight low-level jet, the strong winds and everything in the lower levels of the atmosphere, and we don't have a lot of instability in place here, but it looks like we have just enough to create some problems down there in Beauregard Parish and southern Vernon, where we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect until 10:15. There it is for Vernon and Beauregard. So if you are, if you're in these areas, so like, let's just say, let me take off the lightning because that just looks crazy. You're in DeRidder, you're, right, I mean, anywhere, any of these communities south of DeRidder, it's probably going to be like 10-15 minutes and it's going to quit. You're going to get that very heavy rainfall, the potential for some severe gusts, and then it's going to just kind of lay down. We're going to see this quit very quickly. Nothing out here to the west. So if you can, wait 15-20 minutes, well, then you can get out there and not have any issues. Now, if you're in Sugartown, Longacre, Cravens, these areas, Dry Creek, it's still coming for you. I think it may stay just north of Dry Creek, but it's going to be close. So if you're in that area, Grant, Cravens, if you're in Elizabeth, this is going to probably pass through in the next hour or so. So you're going to see that very heavy rainfall and possibly another severe warning issued. But as of now, this looks like this rotation that we did see looks like it's weakening. So looking at the sheer swath, this is a good way to track how it strengthens, how it weakens. Let me hit play here, and you can see when that warning's issued, we pulse up and see that we get the reds in there for a couple of scans, and then it does come down here. So we're not seeing quite as strong a rotation as we were earlier. It's certainly enough to keep that severe thunderstorm warning going. And yeah, you can see right there, that's the little area of mischief that is now, let me go in here and show you, it's crossing 171. So I'll pause it so it's not all wild and woolly. But you see how that little kind of faded spot in the debris tracker shows up right next to the rotation. That actually kind of shows up better on base velocity. So we've got the winds going toward the radar. You can see the green and the red up there at the top. Hold on, let me do this for you. That's where they're moving toward the radar. That's where they're moving away from the radar. So there is some spin, and this is only 2,000 feet above the ground, and it's in that severe thunderstorm warning. This is why they have a tornado possible tag on this, because it wouldn't take much to get this to spin down. As of now, it doesn't look overly strong. We can actually check how strong these winds are. 35 miles per hour. That is going toward, and going away 15. So about 50 miles per hour, roughly, of rotational velocity in there. And so we're seeing that, moving that way, and so 35 toward, 15 away, and that's only a couple thousand feet above the ground. This is crossing 171 right now. I will shrink this down to a 30-minute loop so we don't have too much going on, but it's pretty persistent there. So this is what we are going to be watching right now. Let me pause this. Okay. That's good. Just trying to see something here. Okay. Yeah, not seeing any updates here coming in on this. I am up to date, but yeah, there is certainly some rotation there that's about to cross 171. This is, if we just plot this out, have this go on loop here, it looks like this is kind of even turning a little more left, so it looks like this should stay north of Dry Creek. This is going to come up toward Kipling and maybe Longacre, just south of Tulla, and forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that. Again, when we get into these smaller communities, I know I can screw that up, and what I want you to do is send me or put in the comments and be like, hey, you screwed up, and then I'll learn it and I'll know it. So good morning, everyone. Yeah, just sitting drinking coffee, waiting on that's me too. Vilplatte, you're down the line here. You're going to get some storms. In fact, we do have other storms that are popping. There you go. You see it, and that's why you're probably hearing some rumbles out there. But for right now, this is our big game in town. We have that severe thunderstorm warning, and how these go, they have different levels. It's not like your grandfather's severe thunderstorm warning where it's just like a whole parish is covered by it. Now we have these polygons, but we also have different kind of different levels where it goes from, your typical severe thunderstorm warning to maybe it has a considerable tag or a catastrophic if it's like 120 mile an hour winds or something, or you'll have that tornado possible. And that's when we have some rotation in there. We have other aspects that make this a severe thunderstorm, but it is possible given the makeup of the atmosphere and what's going on right now that we could see that spin up. And we've kind of seen this rotation here spin up. And it looks like it's doing that right now as it crosses 171. Let me go ahead and take another look at the Lake Charles radar. And once again, seeing the same thing. So we're at about the same level, so it's not surprising we're seeing the same thing. We're right at about 2,000 feet. So these radars should be seeing the same thing, and they are in this case. And let me see on the... Yeah, you see that? I mean, I don't think that's enough of a CC drop or a debris signature, but it is something, since it is correlated with that turning of the winds, with the tornado possible tag on this, that you do need to respect this warning, this severe thunderstorm warning. So if you are out here around Hauser Road, Greentown Road, if you're in the community of Kipling, Hoy Road, Joe Gray Road, Highway 113, it's going to be crossing there soon. Right now, crossing 171. And this thing does not look like much when we're just looking at that. But when we look at that velocity, now I'm seeing what looks pretty interesting there, right over 171. And so if you are out in this area, if you are right now, again, Hauser Road, Redhead Creek Road, if you're Greentown Cutoff Road, Greentown, Joe Gray Road, that area, that's where we see at least something showing up there on radar that is pretty curious. And that's crossing, I mean, if you're just looking at the big roads here, between Tulla and Longville on 171, that's where our rotation is. And that's where we are seeing at least some indication of a correlation coefficient drop. And what that means is when you're out here in these reds, that's where it's very smooth. We're seeing the same thing. It's raindrops, something that's the same size and looks the same. When we see this start to drop out, a lot of times that could be different size. Hail, it could be things that are maybe just, hail and raindrops, stuff like that. But when we really start to see these drop, that's when we have 2x4, shingles, raindrops, stuff like that coming through there. So, I don't think we're looking for this tornadic threat in Alexandria, but again, severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag down here in in Beauregard Parish right now, and that's where the worst of this storm is. Let me go ahead and get it back up to this other radar, and it seems to have a little bit better handle on things. I got an update coming here, so let me just put that in front of my face so I see it. But for now, we're going to see what they're saying. Radar. From what I am seeing, this is the area to watch down here on 171. It's not a great time to be traveling across Beauregard Parish, so if you can put that off, that would be fantastic. But there is your rotation crossing 171. You see the green and the red coming together. And we go down here, and we see it once again from the Lake Charles. Let's see. The Beauregard Parish storm, okay, they're saying continues to weaken. The weak rotation center is now roughly 5 miles north of Longville, decreasing concerns for tornado activity with this cell. So that is, of course, good news. We're going to be watching this until that warning's out, though. Until it's, and what I think is going to happen is this will be able to be shaved back here, as we've already kind of seen here on the western edge. That warning did get trimmed back. If you are in southern Vernon, if you're in northern or northeastern Beauregard Parish, you do have that threat, though, for at least a severe thunderstorm with some straight-line wind potential. And, again, that tornado possible tag that's on this. But it really looks like this storm is shriveling up. Just watch how it's shrinking in size over the last, this is only the last 30 minutes. So it goes from very impressive looking to not seeing much out there. But we still do have that little pocket where there is some spin in the atmosphere. You can see that's been pretty persistent there as this moves across 171 up toward Kipling, eventually perhaps Sugartown and Grant. But again, with this weakening trend, I wouldn't be too worried. You want to keep an eye on things, but I don't even know if they're going to continue on with the severe thunderstorm warning as this continues out toward the east or east-northeast. Just looking to see what we have. Okay. But if you are in this severe thunderstorm warning, it has that tornado possible tag, you're going to want to go ahead and just respect the warning here. It's another 20-ish minutes or so that this is going to be in effect. You can see it gets trimmed back fairly quickly, especially over the southern half of this warning here into Beauregard Parish, Dry Creek, Kipling, Longacre, those communities. If you're near those, that is where this is tracking right now, and you can see that rotation. Even though this storm is weakening, it remains pretty persistent here. And let me just check a couple of things. Nothing there. I'm going to put it in motion. Okay, good. Nothing shows up. That's the tornado debris signature tracker, and so we're not seeing that. Just some lowerings in the correlation coefficient, but nothing that's jumping out at me right now. You can see how that rotation, though, did pulse up again as this headed toward 171. So we picked it up there, weakened a bit, and then it continued on. And I have to make sure. Yep, no, that is. I thought that little dot might have been something on my screen. That actually is there. And you can see this is concentrated in the southern half or southern third of this warning. Now, it is taking a little bit more of a bend up toward the northeast here. And yeah, we're going to be keeping an eye on this one here as we head through the next little while. But per the National Weather Service, they have decreasing tornadic activity concerns with this storm. There's still rotation in there. It's just not incredibly pronounced. It is something that we are all keeping an eye on. And this is just not the time to be on 171 from DeRidder all the way down to Longville, seeing some heavy rainfall. But if I just, woke up in the middle of the night and saw this storm and there was no warning on it, I wouldn't think there was much there. I mean, obviously, these even look a little bit more concerning out to the east, but we're not seeing that same signature that we're seeing on the radar right now. Okay, let's take a look over here. Now that I'm saying that, I'm like, well, I better just, take a little peek here. And, we'll see these little blips here. That's nothing to really be concerned with. Looks like maybe a couple of weak areas of rotation in with this storm right here, but this is mainly a weakening, it looks like, severe thunderstorm that is heading through Beauregard Parish. That's where the worst of this is. Up here in Vernon, you're in the warning, but it's not overly concerning up there. And this is a pretty, again, low population area down here. But I just, if I can dispel any sort of fears, I like to do that as much as I like to give warning. And for right now, that debris, or not debris, that wind signature is pretty darn consistent, but it's weakening. You can see here in that last frame, it looks like it's really starting to kind of scatter out. Take a look at sorry, my phone just fell. Yeah, that's getting less concerning. Saw a couple of moments where it was pretty concerning there in the southwestern part of the warning, and this is continuing on toward the east northeast. Yeah, don't worry. I'm not. This is not pegging my anxiety level right now. So let's all not relax, but I don't know. Let's just go with a measured approach here, and we're gonna just hit play on that just to make sure. Yeah, I don't think that's anything, but yeah, that would be way out to the southeast of that. Does not correlate with the rotation that is weakening and kind of broadening out. So it'd be weird to see that, but we're gonna stick with it. Let me do this. Take a look at the camera. See what we're looking at out west here. Yeah, not seeing anything. Just some cloud cover and some rain still falling here in Alexandria. I have a whole show to go through at some point, so we can do that. Actually, what I'll do is show you real quick the severe threat for today. We're gonna shrink the show down. How's that? Marginal risk for severe thunderstorms today. We're seeing that right now. Could see a few more develop later on. Tomorrow, another big-time severe weather outbreak up in the plains. Kansas and Oklahoma going to see that. That stays to our northwest. Over the next few days, that's when I think we have a decent chance today and tomorrow to see some rainfall. And then toward the end of the forecast, and I'll show you that we're going with the really truncated version here. Okay, I'll just take you through the HRRR model. You can see everything kind of gets out of here in the next couple hours, but it looks like that leaves us enough instability to perhaps see a few storms develop later on today, something we'll be keeping an eye out for. And then Monday, we get another little scattered round. So that is about what we're looking at there. Take a look at the 7-day. Oh, wait. I have to manually do it. There you go. 80% today, 40% tomorrow. Let me pop my face off real quick, and then we'll get back to the radar, but I wanted to at least get you that 7-day. Scattered storms tomorrow, then the chances really come down for Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs back in the 90s on Wednesday and Thursday. And, man, I really wanted to show you something, and I'm going to do it anyway. Look at this. This is the 8 to 14-day outlook, much below. Look at that. We're going to have 70s in mid-May. How about that? We love it. Love to see it. Okay, now let's go back to the radar, take a look and see what we have here. And still, it looks like this storm is weakening. In fact, the warning has been dropped. And you can see this thing's fading out here. So by the time it gets to Glenmora, Oakdale, that area, I don't expect much. In fact, I think this becomes more of the story. Here's some heavier rain moving into St. Landry Parish. We still have our moderate rain across Rapides, Natchitoches, parts of Natchitoches, and Grant, Wynn, LaSalle. But let's take a look at that lightning. And look at this thing. It's losing its lightning. It's losing its gas, losing everything. And then we're picking a little bit of that up out to the south. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and break away from coverage that I didn't think I'd be doing long-form coverage this morning. But thankfully, I was ready to roll, just laying there looking at weather, because that's pretty much what I do. But that warning is down now. So that is good stuff. Let's see. Weather going towards Kentucky. You're leaving possibly Monday. Let's take a look. This is a tall order, but I'm gonna take a look here. Thinking of leaving Monday. So if you are just tuning in, that warning is gone now. Severe thunderstorm warning is out of here. If you were in that warning, that has been canceled. Still some thunderstorms going on, but these are weakening. It does not look like that warning will be reissued there. And right now, I'm just looking at something. It looks like some rain up that way and some storms. Yeah, it's going to be a busy week. I mean, we're going to see more rounds of severe weather across the country. We've seen some really crazy stuff in the last couple of weeks, and I think we see more of that here in the near future. I think a lot of that's going to be out in the plains. We could get a threat to shift back this way, maybe later this week, like late Thursday. I have that chance is 40% on Thursday and Friday. Let me pull that back up since we are out of warning coverage here. So I have the 40% here. You know what? That doesn't allow for the movie to play, so I'm just going to do this. So yeah, rain, and then the next frame. There we go. Now it looks all cool and professional. So your 40% chance for showers and storms there on Thursday into Friday, that's really more like a 60, 70%, but the timing's tough. So trying to figure out which day this all happens right now is kind of our issue there. Could be a little bit of a severe threat as well, so we'll be watching that. And then beyond that, it looks like things get much cooler. Look at that, 78 for a high, 60 for a low on Saturday. So I thought we were totally done with the cool stuff, but obviously with this nice little 8 to 14 day outlook here, we are not. Look at that, blue with some green also mixed in, so some scattered showers continue as we get through mid-May. But that's it for me for today, I think. Yeah, we're coming up on right at 10 o'clock now, and we have rain falling here in Alexandria, and it's going to be sweeping out of the area. Could be some isolated storms later today as well. All right, I will see you back here at some point, probably tomorrow, unless I have to jump back on again and do a little live coverage. But have a wonderful Sunday. I'll see you back here tomorrow.